In this video, I'm going to show you how to start your own business before the year's even out. So we don't have much time left. We're coming up to the end, the closing months of the year. And if you've been thinking about starting a business for a little while now, I think this is the time to get it going. And I want to just take you through a hypothetical situation. If I was to start again, how would I do it? And I want to just talk you through that now so you can see what that roadmap looks like for yourself. I'm going to make a couple of assumptions. That first of all, you're working full time, you're in a full time job, so time is very short for yourself. I'm going to assume that you've probably only got half an hour before work spare. If you've just got up half an hour early, maybe you've got a 30-minute lunch break that you can use as well, and perhaps just half an hour in the evenings when you come home before you get wind down. Instead of watching Netflix, you spend half an hour just working on your new business. And then as well, just having more time, more free time at the weekend. But do you know what? It doesn't matter. If you've only got an hour a week, like you can still go down this roadmap. It's just going to take you a little bit. It's going to take you a little bit longer in that case. Okay. The other thing I'm going to assume is you don't have certainty on an idea yet. So I just want to talk you from creating that first and getting that locked in. I've got an example that I'm going to use. I was talking to somebody else about the other day, so I'll use that as an example. But I want to help you get your own ideas set up here as well. So the first thing I'm doing in this situation, I'm thinking, right, I want to start a business. I want to get out of my job. I have no idea what business to even start yet. The first thing I'm doing in that situation is I'm going to write down everything that I'm good at, my skills, my strengths, my talents. What do people ask me for help with? What is it that I'm good at that other people struggle with? What do they need help with? What do they need support with that I'm always there to help them with? Maybe it's something to do with IT, maybe it's something to do with social media, maybe it's something to do with you. Perhaps you're a great listener and you know what to give the right advice and to support people, help them with their emotions, like the tough times that's going through. Perhaps you're really good at that. Maybe you've got a lot of empathy. So once I've got all those down, I'm then going to think about on a daily basis all the problems that people experience. Where do they get frustrated? What is it that people are lying awake at night, staring at the wall, stressing out about, anxious about, and they don't know how to solve? And I've always seen that people are going to spend money in the area of health, their relationships, in their finances. A lot of financial problems people have, but also social status. People want to see their social status go up. They want to be recognized. They want to have that respect from maybe peers or audience, whoever it might be. Inconveniences. People are inconvenienced every single day, and they want these inconveniences gone because it disrupts their life. And the last thing, the sixth problem, is emotions. People have problems with their emotions. They're in a lot of pain. They're suffering. So if you focus on these 6 areas, or one of these 6 areas, not all of them, you're putting yourself in a position to win. Now, we know that health, wealth, relationships, finances, they're going to be the areas that people spend most amount of money. Look at it every year. But as well, social status, inconvenience, emotions, people are spending a lot of money on. So you've got to lock down and you've got to think about all those problems that people experience every day, and then match up. Look at your list of what you're good at, your strengths, your skills, your talents. What do people ask you for help with? You've got to go through that list, and you've got to look at people's problems and then match them up and look for a sweet spot. So for example, for me, I went into the coaching business and I started just helping people with their mindset, holding them accountable, because I learned how to coach. So I knew I had that skill where I could ask questions, I could hold people accountable. I love personal development. It was a passion for mine. But what I spotted is that people didn't know what goal they wanted to achieve in the first place. So they were stuck, right? And it's usually in the area of achieving some kind of financial goal. Maybe they wanted some more money. So I'd start helping people with that and just holding them accountable to what they needed to do. And then I realized that, I'm good at that. And then I realized that people are having this problem. They're not taking action. They're not working towards their goals. And they're getting frustrated at themselves. They're getting angry at themselves. And there was a lot of fear there for them. So emotional as well. Emotion problem comes up. And so that's where I started helping people. But what is it for you? What's the sweet spot between what you're good at and what people's problems are? Now, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was asking them, "Hey, where are you at? Are you thinking about starting a business, or have you started one yet?" And they said, "Well, I'm in the thinking about it stage at the moment. I'm thinking about starting a pet sitting business." And I think that's a great idea. I think that's a massive problem that it solves, because people, I would say that's an inconvenience problem, because there are people with pets, cats, dogs, whatever. And there are people who've got pets and they want to go away on a holiday, or they've got to go away for work, and they need somebody to look after their pets. They can't just leave their pets to starve for a week or two, right? So they need somebody to look after their pets. What that then means is, the problem that I think that she would be solving in that situation is, people don't trust other people to look after their pets, and people get let down. Pet owners get let down at the last minute, or worse, whilst they're on holiday or away for work. My sister, she's got cats. I know this well. She's had issues where she's gone away on holiday, the pet sitters has let them down, not fed her cats, and it's frustrating. That's an inconvenience. And then she's got to sort it out, and she's, messaging, trying to arrange it all. She doesn't want to be doing that. I mean, she's got time away. So that's a great problem to go in. And I'm just going to use that as the situation for this. And I'm just going to use that as an example. But whatever your idea is that you've chosen, you can use that too. And the first thing that I want to do, I've got this idea that I want to set up this pet sitting business. The first thing I've got to do, I've got to validate the idea, and I want to do some research. So I'm short on time. I've probably only got 90 minutes spare a day. I'm going to spend 2 weeks, probably not even that long, but I'm going to spend 2 weeks just going through forums, Facebook groups, vet websites. I'm going to be going online. I'm going to be going into these groups. I'm going to be looking. You go on Amazon, you got book reviews about pets as well. I want two things. I want to see, what are people, first of all, what are they saying about their pets? How do they talk about their pets? People, for a lot of people, like, their pets are just another member of the family, and I get that. So how do they speak about their pets? Because you want to be matching that communication style when you start in business as well. The second thing I'm going to be looking for is, what are people saying about their problem and their pain? So what are people saying about, maybe they're saying they can't find, or they're always really struggling to find a pet sitter. Maybe they're saying that they get really pissed off and their pet sitter lets them down, and they've got nobody there to take care of their pets. So look for those clues, look for those phrases. What is it that people are saying? And I'm going to just trawl Google. I'm going to use ChatGPT. I'm going to use the deep research mode on it, because I want to find out everything I possibly can from the market when it comes to this problem that people are facing. Because as the business owner, I'm going to be in the business of selling and marketing my pet sitting business. So I want to be able to effectively market it and sell it. And in order to do that, I need to know everything I possibly can about the customer and what they're going through. Now, you're not going to learn everything until you start talking to the customer directly. And that's going to bring us on to the next bit. Now, this is where, from all your research that you've been doing, you're going to start creating an ideal client profile. You might hear this, it's been called a client avatar, dream client, but it's you creating this profile of this one particular person that you want to help. Because we don't want to market to groups of people, because when your messaging is aimed at a group of people, what ends up happening is you start to confuse people and you start to lose them. But anytime you're doing any kind of marketing, any kind of selling, we just want to be aiming our communication at one person. And that direct approach of one person actually draws more people in. So it kind of has the opposite effect. If you try and market to a large group of people, it becomes very vague. But if you just market to one person, actually you draw more people in. So you create this ideal client profile. We want to find out, we're going to have an age for them. Where do they live? Now, if I'm in a pet sitting business, the location is going to be dependent on probably where I'm living. I don't want to be looking after somebody's pet in the north of the country if I live in the south of the country. It's not going to work like that. So it's probably going to be location dependent where you are at the moment. You're going to think, so how much money is this person earning every year? And maybe you're thinking, oh, well, I don't know all this stuff. Well, you've done your research, but then it's about you designing right? It's you designing this person, right? So that you can market to them. So you come up with age, location, where do they live, do they have kids, are they married? I would personally, I would probably want somebody I would want to go after somebody who's single, because, if somebody's going away and they've got kids or they've got family around them, like they could just ask their family. But I would want somebody who's single in this situation. So I choose somebody who's single, they don't have any kids, so they don't have anyone that they can rely on to sit on their pets. They've obviously got to have pets. Do they have dogs? Do they have a cat? Do they have parrots? You got to design that. Whatever business you're going into, you have to design that ideal client profile. So you got to come up with all the demographics: age, how much they earn, their job status, and then think about their psychographics as well. So what do they value? What's important to them? What do they read? What do they watch? Where do they hang out online and offline? What is it that they're searching for on Google? What are their hopes? What are their dreams that they have? What are their fears as well? What are they most scared of? So you've got to come up with demographics, psychographics as well. And then you'll have this ideal client profile. Once you've designed the ideal client profile, this is where you're now going to move into the stage of where we've got to start talking to people. Maybe people, they want to start a business, but they want to try and do it in a way where they don't have to speak to anybody. And that's going to be a really hard business, because people buy from people. So if you're not speaking to other people and you're not having conversations, it's tough, because nobody's going to know about you. If you want to, the more conversations you have, it leads to contracts. As somebody said as well, the more interactions you have, it leads to transactions as well. So remember that. Conversations lead to contracts, interactions lead to transactions. So remember that. It's crucial. You've got to be talking to people in business. Now, I'm not going to be selling anything at this stage. All I want to do is I want to start introducing myself to people, starting up a conversation. I'm going to do that in a nice way. I'm going to look at what they're doing. Hey, I see you do that. Or, hey, see I see you got a pet, or I see you being out with your dog. I'm just going to start a real human conversation. You wouldn't go up to a bar. You wouldn't ask anybody to marry you. You wouldn't ask to take them home with you. So we're not going to do any of that. We're not going to make an offer straight to them. We're just going to start talking to them. And we just want to understand, you can do this by messages. You can do this by phone call. Who do you know in your network? Like your friends, your family. Talk to them. Keep doing this research stage. Kind of drop hints about what you want to be doing. I don't know. I've been thinking about setting up this business where I look after people's pets, take care of them. I just want to understand, like, what do you find when you go away and you need a pet sitter? Like, is it difficult? How much are they charging? If you find one, do they let you down? I'm just doing more research. Then I'm going to come back to them and say, look, I want to get this. I've been listening to everything you have to say, and I understand that there's this problem, and pet sitters let you down, and they don't do a good job. They don't follow your instructions. Can I propose to you that you just give me a weekend, and I'll come and look after your pets? If you want to be there for a bit as well and see how I do, that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to charge you anything, so you're not going to lose out on anything. You got nothing to lose. I'm going to come and look after your pets for the weekend. I'll look after them. You can take me through the instructions. I'll look after them. All it just really helped me at the end. If you are genuinely happy that I've done an amazing job, if you could just create a review and leave me a testimonial. So then you got a couple of clients. This is how I started. I got 2 clients. I said, look, can I help you? I want to take you through this coaching program. Can I help you? I'll do it for free. All I ask is at the end, if you get a result, you give me a testimonial. And then I did whatever it takes with them to help them get a result. And I got a couple of testimonials. Then with that testimonials, you can then go back out to marketplace and say, hey, I see you got a pet. You look like in your job, you look like you're very busy. I imagine you have to go away every now and again, and you need somebody to look after your pet. This is what James said about me looking after our pets. I would love to come and help you. And then you can make an offer to them. Something that look, just start with something that you're comfortable with, right? And build up from there. But once you've got that first sale in business, you're in business, right? You're in business because you've proven the concept to yourself that it works. You've proven it to yourself that you can make sales. I think the first sale I ever made. A friend of mine, we did a 30-day challenge, and it was like a mix of, mindset, and I think it was like social media or something. So he was good at social media. I was good with the mindset stuff. So that's what we focused on. And I think we charged it like £7 or something. It was very low ticket. Like it was definitely less than £20. That was my first sale. I was buzzing about it. I'd made this money. Right, I'd asked somebody for money, and they said yes, and it was a brilliant feeling. And I just did everything I could to help them on that challenge. So it's the same for you. Like once you've got that first sale, you got proof of concept in the bank. Happy days, right? Then you can just rinse and repeat, and you're building up in those early stages. You're building up a reputation for yourself. You do an excellent job, and you keep talking to people about what it is that you're doing. You keep having those conversations. You will build up a reputation in your area that you are the best. And through word of mouth, people will keep referring you. Hey, look, I work with this person. They looked after my pets. They did an amazing job. And they're going to keep coming back. Every time they go on holiday, who are they going to reach out to? You. Every time they've got to go away to work, who are they going to reach out to? You. They're always going to come back to you because you've done an amazing job. This is a pet sitting business. You repeat the same roadmap with any business, right? Whether it's an online business, offline business, it doesn't matter. But it's got that core stage is getting that idea, doing the research, and then actually talking to people, and then you're going to make an offer to them and get a couple, maybe 2 to 5 clients, work with them for free, do an incredible job, and then get some testimonials from them. They'll then start to refer you people your way. And that's how you start making the sales. And that's how you can start your business before the year's out, in the last few months of the year. And you can apply it to any business. Notice I haven't talked about setting up a website. I haven't even talked about a name for your business. It really doesn't matter. I haven't even talked about getting a logo done, right? This is where people spend their time in the business. You do 2 weeks max on planning and research, getting as much information you can. But most people spend months there. You don't need to. Just that short amount of time, and then you go and do it. That's going to have to be